of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Houston.
Brett Myers has taken the mound 20 times as an Astro, and all 20 times he has pitched at least 6 innings. That's a franchise record to start a season. For the second consecutive start, he'll face the Cubs' Ted Lilly as the Astros try to scoop up a win. Let's get dancing for Game 2 of the Astros and Cubs next on Fox Sports Houston. Live from Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas, Fox Sports Houston brings you Houston Astros baseball. Tonight it's Game 2 of this 3-game series between the Astros and the Chicago Cubs. Good evening, everybody. Bill Brown and Jim DeShays. The Cubs won last night. Now the Astros with a good pitching matchup try to draw even tonight, JD.
Well, the Astros have won every series played between these two clubs so far this year. Now the challenge falls to Brett Myers to shut down this Cubs offense that has been one of the best in baseball here in the second half of the season. He's up against veteran left-hander Ted Lilly, who's been very good in his career against the Astros for the season. Lilly 3-8, despite a very good 3.88 ERA. The Cubs just don't score any runs for him. Brett Myers has been unbelievably durable and predictable for the Astros. 20 starts, giving them 6 innings or more each and every time.
Coming up, Chris Johnson homered in back-to-back games at Wrigley Field against the Cubs. Johnson has had it going in the month of July. We'll see what CJ and his teammates do in just a moment. Love it. Houston Astros. Cool, refreshing moment right there. Going out to a fan, and it's University of Houston Cougar night here at Minute Maid Park. We'll have a lot more on that as this game develops. Meanwhile, the Cubs come up against the Astros in Game 2 of this series with this starting lineup for Lou Piniella. Tyler Colvin in right field. Starlin Castro shortstop. Derek Lee first base. Aramis Ramirez third base. Marlon Byrd center field. Alfonso Soriano left. Ryan Terrio second base. Coy Hill catcher. Ted Lilly pitcher.
Suzuki brings us our starting pitcher. It is Brett Myers. We'll take a look at that momentarily because he's about to throw strike one.
And he did to Tyler Colvin.
I'm 1 for 1.
You got it.
I'm shutting it down. Here's the scouting report by Suzuki. How about the month of July for Myers? Lights out. 2-0, $188. Good against the Cubs throughout his career. Outstanding at home this season. A lot of things add up to a good night for that man.
Catches the corner. Joey Davis, crew chief, is the home plate umpire. It's 0-2 for Brett Myers, who's pitched well in both of his starts this year against the Cubs, to the tune of 1-0 with a 1.98 ERA in those 2 games. And he gets a swing and a miss as Colvin whiffs to open the game.
Broke out the entire tool belt there. Fastball, changeup, and then a backdoor breaking ball to finish him off. Just a very defensive hack there by Colvin, trying to get a piece to stay alive. Great start for Myers.
Rookie shortstop Starlin Castro, 20 years old, is next. He's on a 6-game hitting streak. Strike one to Castro. 309 is his average. He has 3 homers, 31 driven in, had a couple of hits last night. About every Cub is on some kind of a hitting streak coming into this game tonight. 5, 6, 7 games, 9 games. It's been a pretty hot club here for the last couple of weeks offensively. No balls, 2 strikes for Myers. And Myers has handled this team well over the years with a career record of 8-3 and a 2.52 ERA against the Cubs.
Twice this year, very good. 6 2/3, 8 hits, 2 runs back in June, and then last time 7 innings of 1-run baseball. He did not face them last year. Made a couple starts against them in 08. He has not lost to the Cubs since losing to them in relief August of 07.
Well, that makes this a good matchup because Ted Lilly has won 7 straight against the Astros.
Something's got to give, Brownie.
Yeah, they squared off against each other on Wednesday in Chicago. Both pitched well, but nothing gave because they both got no decisions.
Yeah, so something doesn't have to give.
So Lilly will be going to the mound here in a few minutes. A lot of trade rumors circulating around him as the deadline comes up Saturday afternoon. Non-waiver trades. That one sailed high, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes to Castro. It's really interesting this time of year to see all the scouts coming into these games. Sometimes a scout from a particular organization will follow a given club for a week or more.
Yeah, and normally what happens is you get used to seeing the same guys, the advanced scouts, but you get a different mix this time of year. It's hard for some of the other major league scouts around. Come up with new reports. Let's take a look now at the Astros defensively tonight. Outfield is same old with Carlos, Michael, and Hunter. Infield of Johnson and Sanchez. The youngsters taking care of third and short. Carpenter and Berkman on the right side. Q's done a real nice job throwing out base stealers this year.
Now it's a full count to Castro. Good-looking young player. Signed as a free agent at 06 from the Dominican Republic by the Cubs. Last year he was at Class A Daytona most of the season. He had only 111 at-bats at Double-A Tennessee. Made the big jump and made it well. Fly ball hangs right center field. Hunter Pence is calling. 2 down for Myers. Myers will turn 30 on the 17th of August.
Despite all of his success against the Chicago Cubs, he has not had much against this man here, Derek Lee. 17 out of 34, a 500 batting average against Myers, 3 home runs.
Lee takes, there's ball 1. Lee's currently on a 9-game hitting streak with 11 homers for the season, 44 driven in, and those career numbers against Myers.
That'll make you try to invent a new pitch. Do something different. Drop down sidearm. Throw a knuckleball.
2-0 to Lee, who's hit .352 in his last 16 games. He got a phone call from Carlos Zambrano apologizing for their dust up in the dugout. Lance Berkman giving chase to this foul pop over against the stands, and it's about 10 rows back. So Zambrano, in a few days, it seems, will come back to the Cubs, but from the stories, despite his interview in which he was very apologetic on a sports network, the Cubs players seem to be saying, we want that apology in person.
By golly, we demand an apology. We live in a world that demands apologies. I don't care what he says, just get somebody out.
That might help. Lou Piniella, who had to get between those two, Lee and Zambrano.
Baseball has morphed over the years, and everybody's hugging each other and apologizing to each other. Just play.
Fouled away.
Hugging. It's constant.
Tommy Lasorda started that, didn't he?
It's Tommy's fault.
Let's go back to Tommy.
At least he was hugging his own guys.
That's true.
Competitors are hugging around the batting cage every day.
Wow, he gets a foul ball there. That's a different look there for Brett Myers.
Well, he can give you a lot of different looks. You know, his breaking ball command is very, very good. That's been the key to his success this year. But he can get a little run on that two-seam fastball. If he thinks you're looking for that slider or curveball away, a right-handed hitter, he'll run that two-seamer in on him.
And a line drive up the right field line, slices foul. Wesley Wright got the start last night, going 5 innings for the Astros. Carlos Silva went 5, and the Cubs won it 5-2.
They're trying to shoot this one in the right field corner, but ball slicing foul. Putting up a pretty good battle here. Seems like he's always in a favorable count.
Yeah. That time he got him on strikes. Flips the bat away as the slider broke away from him, and he struck out for number 2 for Myers. No score. Local Lincoln Mercury dealers and the 2010 MKS. Technologically breathtaking. Reach higher with the 2010 Lincoln MKS. Brad Mills hoping to reach higher with this starting lineup. Michael Bourne in center field. Then at shortstop, as you see the icy drinks behind, Angel Sanchez. Hunter Pence in right field. Carlos Lee left. Jeff Keppinger second. Lance Berkman first. Chris Johnson third. Humberto Quintero catch. Brett Myers pitch. First pitch for Ted Lilly. Strike one to Michael Bourne. 256 for Michael. One homer. He's driven in 24 with those numbers. 31 steals. He leads the league. Grounds that one to second. The infielder pulled in Terrio. That pays off for out number 1.
Well, let's see what Suzuki has to say about Ted Lilly, the starting pitcher for the Chicago Cubs today. Well, Suzuki says he He's really good against the Astros. 7-1 with a 2.36 ERA. The Cubs have not scored any runs for him. The lowest run support in Major League Baseball. He's a fly ball pitcher. Gets a lot of outs in the air. Also gets up a fair number of home runs. 19 long balls allowed in 111 2/3 innings.
Angel Sanchez takes, and there's ball one to a 317 hitting shortstop with 4 runs batted in.
Among starting pitchers with at least 10 starts against the Astros, his ERA third best behind Adam Wainwright and Jake Peavy. Wainwright's just been nails. He's 9-1 with a .56. Here's the help for Lilly tonight. Soriano, Bird, Colvin cover the outfield. Ramirez, Castro handle the left side. Right side controlled by Mariah and Lee. Coy Hill does the catching.
Sanchez fouls it away. He's on an 8-game hitting streak, hitting .400 during the last 8 games.
And yes, I know his name is really Terrio, but I like to call him the Riot.
It's okay. A lot of people call him the Riot. You said Myers had not lost to the Cubs since 07. Lilly has not lost to the Astros since 07. He's won 7 straight from Houston. He works that one for the strikeout on Sanchez, out number 2. That's changeup.
Yeah, that's maybe his best pitch. Well, last night, Carlos Silva got it. That had a very good changeup. Split finger pitch, I think, was his changeup. Silva's it, but he was kind of sinker changeup. Lilly, he's got a little bit different style. He'll work up in the zone a lot more with his fastball. He'll move the fastball from down to up, and also throw a good backdoor breaking pitch and an outstanding changeup. Has the ability to run his fastball in on a right-handed hitter, and it's very effective. Even though he won't light up the radar gun with that heater, he can pitch successfully high in the zone with it.
Hunter Pence fouls it back. There's strike 1. Hunter on a 4-game hitting streak, checks in at 270 with 15 homers. He's driven in 49 to lead the club.
Yeah, actually, when you look at Ted Lilly and watch what he does, it gives you an idea of what Wesley Wright could become. Wesley could kind of master that changeup.
Hunter looks at ball 1 in the number 3 spot in the lineup tonight.
A little bit different arm angle. Lilly more over the top than Wesley.
2-1 to Hunter, who has sizzled at Minute Maid Park this month, hitting .421. Lilly allowed 1 run in 7 1/3 against the Astros in that no decision last Wednesday. Almost cut that one back in over the plate, but he missed for ball 3. Now Hunter has a chance to zone in on something.
2 outs, nobody on. Lilly, see how aggressive he wants to be here.
Hunter skies it over the infield, and the infielders converge. Corey Hill, the catcher, backpedaling.
Wow! That thing was way up there.
And it's out number 3 in a scoreless ball game. through the first. Now in the second inning, Ramos Ramirez, who says he's inclined to exercise his option on the Cubs contract for next year, $14 million plus, to come back to this ball club.
Yeah, I would too.
Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Strike one to Ramirez.
Yeah.
7-game hitting streak, 230, 15 homers, 47 runs batted in.
He's having a nice bounce back here in the month of July, but had really struggled up until this point.
That one to right center field sends Michael Bourne on a merry chase, and Hunter Pence, and Bourne snags it. Why not on Cougar night here at Minute Maid Park? The Cougar ranges deep to right center.
There are a lot of Cougars here tonight.
Yeah. Some Pumas.
At least one.
Yeah. There's one down, and now it's Marlon Byrd.
Byrd.
He's been flying high this year with that .313 average, fourth best in the league. Good quality pitch for strike one from Myers. Bird's hit .333 on the road with those numbers to go with his excellent season for the Cubbies. Myers works quickly. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
Byrd has a lot of the attributes you find in a high average hitter. Quick path to the ball, pretty patient at the plate. Nice short, compact swing. Myers throwing a couple tantalizing pitches there, but Marlon not offering.
Clean shaven Brett Myers tonight. Go for the goatee, little tap. And he throws low to Berkman, gets him 2 out. Let's go to Patty Smith. Patty?
Well, join the Astros for Faith and Family Night on Saturday. After the 6:05 game against the Brewers, stick around for the event, including a player testimony by Lance Berkman and concert with Jars of Clay. Tickets start at only $7. Visit Astros.com for tickets, Bill.
Thanks, Patty. Now it's Alfonso Soriano batting. Soriano, the left fielder, checks in at .272. He has 18 homers. He's driven in 54. Soriano had a couple of hits and knocked in a run in last night's game. The Cubs had 7 extra base hits last night. And they had 13 hits in the game and winning 5-2.
Ooh, yeah. We can go above the hands on Soriano. He's got a little bit of an uppercut in his swing. And it's not a bad place to go.
Just misses. It's 2-1. The last Astro to start and go 6 innings in 24 starts in a row was Darryl Kyle in 1997. Myers has made it 20 starts in a row, 6 innings or more.
Franchise record belongs to Larry Dierker. Dierker 26 consecutive games. June of '69 through April 17th of 1970. I'm guessing there's a whole lot of 8s and 9s in there too.
Yeah. Soriano's down on strikes. Myers has retired the first 6, 3 via strikeout. No score after 1.5.
is University of Houston night out here at the ballpark. I'm going to be talking to various Cougars throughout the night, and I have the pleasure of being joined by the new head baseball coach, Todd Whitting, former player, former coach, back here in Houston. Todd, congratulations on getting the job and being back.
Great, thanks. It's really good to be back in Houston. I spent 13 years here as a player and assistant coach, and one of my main goals in leaving University of Houston was to come back and be the head coach here one day. So I'm really excited to be back.
Well, of course, you're known as a program builder, as just a great recruiter, and there's such a hotbed of ball players here in this area. How important is that to you to be able to come home and be able to get kids right out of your backyard?
Well, I've had a lot of success in Houston recruiting over the past 13, 14 years, and to be able to come back here right in the middle of the hotbed, it's going to be really exciting. We've had a great deal of success at my previous school getting Houston players, so hopefully we can keep those guys home and continue to build the program.
Of course, you're coming off a lot of success, a World Series appearance at TCU, so I know that is also something that it can hopefully translate and bring here to the Cougars.
No question. It was a lot of fun going to Omaha, and it's like I've told a lot of people, it's an experience that I want the University of Houston players and fans to have, because it's like nothing else in the world. I mean, it's a life-changing experience to go to Omaha, Nebraska.
Michael Bourne, of course, the former Cougar. He was there under your domain the first time around. I know you have a lot of great Michael Bourne stories. I'm going to give you a chance to give us one here real quick.
He, Michael was a great player for us, and tremendous kid, tremendous human, great player. He's what you're after in the recruiting process, and kids that you want playing for you. And Mike was actually up at the stadium today. This guy's a premier athlete, and he shows up with a bag of Wendy's and I think cheeseburger and French fries, and up taking a nap in our locker room before he came out here this afternoon. So but I love Mike. He's one of my all-time favorites, and I'm really happy to see his success.
Well, we are glad to have you back, and of course, Fox Sports Houston is now partnered with the University of Houston. We'll be doing a new weekly show on Thursday nights, debuting September 2nd, called Cougars Insider. We'll be following the team all football season long, doing features on all the other sports there at the University of Houston. So we look forward to that, and it was nice meeting you, and thanks for stopping by.
Great, thanks a lot.
Guys.
Thanks, Patty. 1 ball, 1 strike to Keppinger. Lee led off with a hit to the left of the shortstop, Castro. First hit of the ball game. And Lance Berkman is on deck. Keppinger at 285 with 4 homers. He's driven in 34 before last night's game. There's a strike to make it 1-2 for Ted Lilly. 34 years old. He was drafted by the Dodgers in the 23rd round in '96. Last year he was 12-9 with the Cubs. This is his 4th year with Chicago, having signed a 4-year deal. He's paid good dividends. Really with 106 wins, 92 losses in his major league career. We talked about that low run support. Boy, is it low. He, on the road, has gone 1-4 with a 3.27 ERA this year. He is attracting another toss from Lilly there.
Yeah, and the Cubs, excuse me, early on didn't score much. They struggled offensively. Lately, they've been much better. That's just the nature of it. Sometimes you're the guy for whatever reason. It seems like there's always one guy on the staff. Doesn't get much run support.
Dappinger's caught looking, second strikeout for Lilly.
And then you have like the Astros are having a whole bunch of guys that get good run support.
See that too often. Keppinger looking at a third strike.
Well, you don't, because he doesn't strike out a lot. But it seems to me when he does strike out, it is looking, because he has such good strike zone judgment. He doesn't chase many balls out of the zone. He'll get fooled in the strike zone from time to time, but rarely does he chase.
Lance Berkman was 2 for 5 last night. Drove in a run. Strike Berkman, 239, 12 homers, 45 runs batted in. Dropped to 6th in the order tonight, probably because of his 103 career average against Lilly.
And always been a far better hitter from the left side. His numbers from the right side not good at all.
One ball and 1 strike. Chris Johnson's on deck.
Let's see here. What's Lance hitting right here? There it is. Look at that. It's like 94, 1 home run, 4 driven in. Astros as a team hitting 238. Equally inept against lefties and righties this year.
2-1. Pedro Feliz has excellent numbers against Lilly for his career and hit the pinch homer off Lilly a few days ago in Chicago. So he's certainly available to do that again. It was one of the considerations for Brad Mills, whether to start Feliz at first base in this game. He went with Berkman, obviously. 2 balls and a strike. Berkman 14 hits away from tying Cesar Cedeno for 4th place on the Astros all-time hit list. He takes a strike, and it's even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. That word from Don Macy from the Texas Scouts Association. His father Vic is here tonight with the grandkids, section 125. And Don told us about an upcoming charity golf tournament. We'll pass along that word to you in a moment. Fly ball off the end of the bat, heads for Marlon Byrd in center. And Byrd checks it for out number 2. Chris Johnson coming up. It's August 2nd next week at Bear Creek Golf Course in the Dallas area. And we have a website for you in case you're interested. There's a noon shotgun start. It's a fundraiser for the Scouts who are not covered by insurance in all cases when they fall upon hard times. And the email is TX for Texas, TX Fallen Scout Golf 2010 yahoo.com. Chris Johnson, 322, has 3 homers. He's driven in 17. Inside for ball 1. CJ looking good at the plate lately. Hitting the ball away from him exceptionally well, and he's put together a 10-game hitting streak, hitting .405 in the last 10 games. Bagwell has watched him hit 3 homers and drive in 9 in the last 10 games.
Keeps this up, he's going to find himself hitting in the middle of the order. Struggles with Carlos and Lance. A lot of times with a young player, you don't want to put that responsibility on his shoulders. You kind of just settle him in there and let him hit 6th or 7th. If he continues to swing a hot bat, I wouldn't be surprised to see Millsy move him up in the order a little bit.
Out into center field, Marlon Byrd will get to it, but that's another hit for Chris Johnson, an 11-game hitting streak. Longest by an Astros rookie since Chris Burke hit in the 11th straight in the 05 season.
Didn't exactly tear the cover off that one, but it's nice to get that knock out of the way when you got a hitting streak. Trying to run that cutter in on him a little bit, and he fights it off. Flare out there in the shallow center field.
That means 2 men on for Humberto Quintero. 229 for Q. 3 homers, 11 runs batted in. He's hit safely in 3 of his last 5 starts. Backs away. Right-handed hitters are hitting .222 against Lilly.
Texas Energy provides our Fox pitch tracker every night. We work that top of the zone quite a bit with the fastball.
Gets him strike 1 on Quintero. Q is catching Myers for the 5th time this year. He has a couple of ducks on the pond here, and Lee and Johnson. Last night the Astros were 2 for 10 with runners in scoring position. That's foul back.
One more hit and they would have been 3 for 10. They would have been 300.
Good scoring position. Yeah.
One away from being good.
You're right.
So they were bad.
It's a fine line sometimes. Good and bad.
The difference between a 250 and a 300 hitter over the course of the year is about a hit a week.
Break it down that way.
We get all excited. Boy, it's a 300 hitter.
Big curveball gets strike 3 for Lilly. And Quintero on looking for the 3rd strikeout for Lilly. No runs, 2 hits, 2 men stranded. 0-0. It's 0-0, top of the third coming. This date in Astros history is brought to you by the MD Anderson Cancer Center. Making cancer history. July 27th, 1992 was the first game of the Astros' historic 8-city, 28-day, 26-game road trip due to the Republican convention being held at the Astrodome. You missed that one, J.D.
Yeah, 91 was my last year here. We got out just in the nick of time.
That was a good one to miss.
The meal money must have been incredible.
Well, he gave it to us a few different times. Ryan Theriot fouled it. There's strike one. Terrio's put together a 6-game hitting streak, 283, 1 homer, 21 runs batted in, so you wouldn't lose it all if they gave it all to you up front. They gave it to you in installments that year in meal money.
You can imagine some of the card games in the back of the plane with all that meal money flying around.
Oh, boy. 1 ball, 1 strike, which reminds me of a trip we made to Las Vegas for an exhibition game one time when Bob Watson was the general manager. We had a very young club. Might have been 90. Fly ball to right center field. Michael Bourne. 1 out.
I don't believe I did.
Well, we'll get into that in a moment. First of all, we have the Ford League Leaders, brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers, showing you the Republican Convention road trip. A 12-14 record, not bad. Played against 5 future Hall of Famers, 3 future managers, and J.D., 1 of 2 career multi-hit games. How about that?
Yeah. I don't even remember that.
You should remember that one. Coy Hill taps back to Brett Myers. 2 outs. That's 8 straight set down by Myers. Looking very sharp.
And he's tripping along. So the Vegas trip.
Yeah. We had a very young club, Brian Williams and some of those guys, and Bob Watson said to the players, hey, if you want to give me some of your meal money to hold for you until we leave Vegas, I'll give it back to you on the airplane.
I know that's a problem with the minor league clubs that go through Vegas. These guys dump a lot of money in the casinos there. Those minor leaguers aren't making a whole lot of money. No, they're not.
Ted Lilly is 1 for 29. Strike 1 to Lilly. 0-34, and he got that hit off Myers. That's Wednesday, single to right field in the 5th inning at Wrigley Field. He had that classic swing going that day. No balls, 2 strikes, made solid contact, looked really good. Myers was tough to solve. He only gave up 5 hits in 7 innings. And when they left the game, it was 1-1. The home run in the 8th by Feliz. Lilly strikes out. That is 4, and Myers has set down the first 9 in a scoreless game.
And welcome back to Minute Maid Park. No score in the 3rd. Time now to introduce you to our progressive fans of the game. I've got the Horton family. I've got Daniel. I've got Tim and Stephanie, the family of little Bryson here, who Bryson and his whole family were able to go down on the field, hang out with some of the Astros today. Bryson, I'm going to let you go ahead and tell us a little bit about Bryson and why you guys are here, Tim.
Okay. Bryson was diagnosed with ALL March 14th, 2009. He was in remission a couple months ago, and then he relapsed. So we're actually going to do a bone marrow transplant. We go in the hospital on the 1st, and his actual transplant's on the 12th.
Well, we're all behind you, and we wish you luck on that one. This is also Bryson's first game. He looks like he's taking it in and really enjoying himself.
He loves it. He likes the lights, the players. As you can see, he's having a good time. We also want to tell you, you can go to BrysonRocks.com and check out his site. It talks about his story and has pictures and videos and stuff about his life.
Very awesome. And Stephanie, I know you guys, you got your other son out here, Daniel. I know this is kind of a real special event for the family. I know you guys have a connection with the Pences as well. How special is this for your family to come out and have this day?
It's really good. He's actually my little brother. This is our only son, but we're really thankful for friends who helped us out to come out here to enjoy the game, and also our lovely jersey that we have. They got that for us and imprinted with his name on it. So we're really happy, and we couldn't be more blessed.
All right, well, we really appreciate it. He's been having a ball out here. Again, you guys can go check out that website. It's BrysonRocks.com. So Bryson and you guys are all our progressive fans of the game. Thank you so much, and we'll be saying some prayers for you, and we'll be thinking about you next week.
Thank you very much.
All right, Bill.
Thanks, Patty. Michael Bourne at the plate after a 4-pitch walk to Brett Myers, and there's strike one to Michael Bourne. So Lilly didn't throw a strike to the pitcher, but he's ahead of Bourne, who grounded out earlier. Sanchez on deck.
No, a lot of people play fantasy baseball. Brett Myers is playing a little fantasy baseball right now. I just watched him take his lead down there. He had the arm swinging, kind of a la Lou Brock. Yeah. And that's what if you're a starting pitcher, you get to get on the bases. You get to do it that often. You got to pretend. In his mind, he's ready to go. He's going to steal a bag.
He might.
Check it out. He's got the hand waggle going, the whole deal.
Lilly gets a double play ball, fires to Castro for one, but just barely a double play. They had to hurry. Boy, isn't that something? A one-hopper to the pitcher, and Bourne almost beat it out.
Yeah, it's so difficult to double up. He just did get him very close. Yeah, sharply hit. Lilly, good feed. Castro unloads in a hurry, and boy, that could have gone either way.
Good for that. Fourth double play ball for Bourne. Now Sanchez takes ball one. Angel struck out in the first inning. Lilly brings that one in, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Sanchez has hits in 12 of his last 13 games, hitting .367. Really making quite an impression at shortstop.
See, Lilly, he works from the extreme third base side of that rubber and throws a little bit across his body. So he throws that backdoor breaking ball, and it's very easy to see where a right-handed hitter would give up on it. This looks like it's nowhere close to the plate with the angles that he's using, and he's able to bring it over the outside edge.
Over into foul ground, Tyler Coleman cannot get to it. Very happy person did get to it, though. The count remains 1-2 with Hunter Pence on deck. Astros are 6-4 against the Cubs this year. They've won all 3 of the series between these two, but in order to win this series, they need wins tonight and tomorrow. In the dirt for ball 2.
Norris going for the Astros tomorrow. Let's take a look at Lilly. The other thing about him that's unique is this little hesitation he has at the top of his delivery. Comes up overhead, and a little bit of a hesitation as he turns his back to the hitter, hides the ball well.
That works. Sanchez lays off. It's a full count to the Astros shortstop. Brad Mills telling us tonight that Tommy Manzella is on that bench just absorbing all the knowledge he possibly can while he's down with the injury. Sanchez strikes out to end the third. No runs, no hits. Strikeout number 4 ends it for Lilly. Got a double play ball also, and it's scoreless after 3. Tonight's Jack in the Box standings looks at the rookie home run leaders in the major leagues. It's Tyler Colvin with 15, followed by Ike Davis with 14. Then the Tigers' Brendan Bosch. Jason Hayward has 11, as does Gabby Sanchez of Florida.
Just a couple weeks of the season, Jason Hayward, the slam dunk rookie of the year. Everybody thought it was going to be an easy win for him. So much anymore.
First hit of the night for the Cubs comes from Tyler Colvin. A line drive double to the right field corner on the first pitch of the 4th inning. He becomes the first Cubs base runner. 5-game hitting streak now for Colvin. That's his 13th double.
And that was the big difference in the ballgame last night. The Cubs with a bunch of extra base hits. The Astros just about all singles, and that's been a problem all year long for the Astros. Just not enough extra base hits. There's been a number of games where they've had 8, 9, 10 hits, but score a run or two because they're all singles. If you don't have a lot of speed and you hit a lot of singles, it's hard to score runs.
Now Starlin Castro, who worked the count full, hit a fly ball to right. Takes ball 1 from Brad Myers. Myers' 8-3 lifetime record against the Cubs. His second, only to his record against Colorado of 7-0. So all the National League clubs he's faced in his career, his ERA against the Cubs is his lowest against any NL team. 2 balls, no strikes for Brad Myers.
11 batters into the game. He's in the stretch position for the first time all evening.
Now it's 3-0 to Castro. Derek Lee on deck.
Sometimes when a pitcher has been working out of the full windup and then moves to the stretch, it can be a little bit of an adjustment.
Myers is 5-0 at Minute Maid Park this season. His ERA here 2.48. Brad Arnsberg has seen a number of well-pitched games by Myers. 3-1 now. The Astros have won Myers' last 8 starts at home. Broken back grounder. Sanchez with a play. Colvin moving over on out number 1.
Broken bat, slowly hit. Good base running by Colvin. The rule of thumb is the ball behind you go, ball in front of you stay.
Quaddy alongside Colvin as we take a look at AT&T Trivia. Here's the question. You have the answer. Name the 3 players who led the Astros in homers on the 8-city road trip in 1992. Well,
Jeff Bagwell.
Jeff Bagwell, Craig Biggio, Ken Cameron.
Eric Anthony.
Yeah, he was probably. We only got 1.
Mike Sims.
Derek Lee takes ball 1. Infielders playing back up the middle, as you see. 1 out and a 0-0 game. Myers clips a corner, and that makes the count 1 ball, 1 strike.
Luis Gonzalez.
We'll just keep guessing.
Steve Finley. Well, you talk about a core of really young players.
Yeah.
Folks in Houston probably didn't realize what they had on their hands at the time.
You're right about that.
Good talent.
2 balls and a strike. Welcome back home from Iraq to PFC John Rodriguez and his friends at Fort Lewis, Washington. They'll be coming to Alvin on the 21st of August to come to a ball game. 3 balls and a strike. Gerald Young is a strong possibility, according to Phil Boudreau, one of the answers to that trivia question.
Sorry, G-Man, I didn't mention.
No. Liner to short, caught by Sanchez. He looks at third, but Colvin's back, 2 outs.
Well, Myers has been very good so far tonight, and sometimes you need a little luck as well. That ball hit right on the screws by Derek Lee, but right at Sanchez out there at shortstop. Myers will tell you, there's no luck involved. I induced him to hit it right to the shortstop. You kidding me?
Pete Incaviglia is another possibility, JD. Phil Boudreau is feeding us the answers from his notebook. Strike to Aramis Ramirez, who hit a fly ball to center in the 2nd inning. Boot's famous dog-eared notebook has held up well over the years.
Everything you ever wanted to know.
No balls, 2 strikes.
I'm wrong again, Pine Top Red. I was able to get the jump on Ramirez here, who's been about as good as there is in the National League here in the month of July. A lot of different ways you can go here. You see Q first asking for the fastball, then the slider, then ultimately the curve.
Bunch to second. And Keppinger to Buckman to take care of the 3rd out. Lead off double, but no runs on a hit. The runner stranded at 3rd for the Cubs in a 0-0 game. The 2 were Jeff Bagwell, Eric Anthony, and Eddie Taubensee. All had 3. Hunter Pence takes. There's ball 1 as the home 4th inning gets underway, and Patty Smith is waiting. Patty. Get to her in a moment. Hunter hit a pop-up his first time up on a 3-1 count. She audible. And this one is way up there in the rafters. Threads its way through, and
his hang time is outstanding tonight.
You know it. Now we go to Patty. Patty.
All right, thanks so much, Bill. Yeah, as I told you earlier, it is University of Houston night. I'm with another Cougar, Case Keenum, quarterback for the Cougs. He was out here throwing out the first pitch tonight. He did a pretty good job out there.
It was a blast. I told somebody after I did that everybody needs to get a chance to do that at least one time in their life. It's a lot of fun, adrenaline rush for sure.
Would you have felt a little more comfortable had you been throwing a football?
Probably so. You're probably exactly right. So you never know. Michael did a good job there behind the plate for me.
Well, and that's probably kind of a neat thing for you to have Michael back there, a former Cougar. I saw you guys chatting up a little bit afterwards. What were you saying to him?
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's been around U of A's training there during the off season, and just really cares about Houston Cougars still, and has done really well for himself. I'm a huge Michael Bourne fan, and it's great to see him around. He's asking about when we start up football. The camp starts next week, asking about that, and he's about to go out and play the Cubs, and he's asking about the football game. When we start football practice. So it's a great guy, and I've got a lot of respect for him.
Heading into this season, I know a lot of hype, a lot of Heisman hype surrounding you. How are you handling that, especially heading into the season?
I think the best advice that I've got for that is just, worry about the Houston Cougars, worry about, winning games, and the rest of that stuff will take care of itself. And, I think getting the Houston Cougar name out there no matter where we can is a big deal. But, I'm just gonna pay attention to what we can do on Saturdays, those 60 minutes, and I think the rest of that stuff will take care of itself.
And what about the rest of the team, coaches, the community? Everybody's always excited about football season, but what do you see as far as potential in this team this year?
We're all really excited, and I think we've been working extremely hard, this off season throughout spring, and with the guys we have coming back, it's the potential that we have to be really good is pretty scary. I think it's pretty scary to a lot of teams, and we're really excited about what's coming this year. Just the guys we have coming back, and we're ready to take care of some unfinished business.
All right. Well, we look forward to it. We'll be pulling for you, and look forward to seeing what the Cougars have to bring us this season. And you can also follow a lot of that right here on Fox Sports Houston, because we are partnering up with the Cougars and doing a new show every Thursday night called Cougars Insider. It airs on Thursdays, 6 o'clock. And that starts on debuts on September 2nd. We'll be doing all kinds of stuff with Case, with Coach, with some of the players, and some of the other sports there at the University of Houston as well. So be sure to tune in for that. Bill?
Thanks, Patty. Hunter Pence popped to second on a 2-2 count. Now Carlos Lee, who singled to left center in the second, is at 1-0 in the count. A scoreless game with Lilly on the mound. It's 2-0 now with Jeff Keppinger on deck. Carlos has 32 career long balls against the Cubs. All the way. Now it goes to 2-1.
Just 81-mile-an-hour. I think it was a changeup. Just kind of a little cut fastball, maybe dead fish fastball. Just throwing it over there.
And foul.
Carlos got on top of a high fastball last time with that single in the left field. That's not easy to do. When he throws a sliding fastball up away from the right-handed hitter, it's tough to pull that thing. To get underneath it and hit a lazy fly ball. Bill Grandpa.
Yeah. That little guy's thrilled. Yonder into left field. Got on top of it and got it by Ramirez for a 2-for-2 start for Carlos Lee to this game.
Well, just a real nice job beating Lilly at his game. Lilly has a lot of success pitching up around the letters like that, but Carlos has been able to spoil him twice up there.
Here's number 3 for the Astros. Jeff Keppinger took a third strike in the second. Lee and Lee alongside each other there. Lance Berkman's in the on-deck circle. Double play depth for Castro and Terrio. Moving foul. Out of play. Strike one to Keppinger.
Miguel Batista was the starting pitcher for the Washington Nationals tonight, and he got booed because he wasn't supposed to be the starting pitcher. Steven Strasburg was. Strasburg, a late scratch, couldn't get loose in the bullpen. So they announced Batista instead of Strasburg in the 40,000 plus in Washington. We're not happy about that. But he delivered 5 shutout innings. The Nationals lead the Braves 3-0.
Interesting.
So, there's, I don't feel like that I can't get loose. And there's, oh my God, my arm's hanging and I can't get loose. And I think it's more the former than the latter. And with Steven Strasburg, if he just said, gee, I don't feel, okay, you're done.
Yeah, that's about where they are.
We're going to be so cautious with him.
There was one story today calling that the most ballyhooed anticipated matchup of rookies. First time they met in 74 years. And Joe DiMaggio hooked up with Herb Score.
Oh yeah, it's Atlanta. It's Jason Hayward of the Braves. Yeah, the Strasburg-Hayward matchup.
Or Bob Feller, rather. DiMaggio and Bob Feller. Tied to Keppinger, 1-2.
I think by definition, the hype machine is so great now compared to years past. I mean, as good as DiMaggio and as good as Feller were, I can't imagine there was as much the hype that surrounds these guys.
Exactly.
In today's world.
Line and foul again. Just 2 balls over in that area. 1-2 too. Yeah, so I'm very happy that he did.
Well, he brought his glove to the park. Showing good extension. Staying with it.
Big time play.
Yeah.
Carlos Lee draws the throw to Derek Lee. 22 to Keppinger. Phillies lead Arizona 4-3. They've played 5 in Philadelphia. Mark Reynolds hit his 24th for the D-backs. Jason Worth, number 14 for the Phillies. Keppinger strikes out for the second time in this game. Number 5 for Lilly.
Last time he got Keppinger looking. This time he drops a big old curveball in there. Jeff out in front of it. Maybe Ted Lilly's last start in the Chicago Cub uniform. He's had a nice year. Pitching well tonight. Should be plenty of suitors.
Lance Berkman hit a fly ball to center in the second inning. The Mets have been mentioned. The Yankees have been mentioned with Lilly. You know, the team that's really lying in the weeds with all these trade rumors. You don't hear much about the Dodgers at all. Doesn't mean anything.
Well, they go through that messy divorce out there, right? The ownership in the court, so there's some question as to whether they have the money to spend.
Ned Colletti has said they do, but he's not talking about taking on a huge contract. It's only the second game this season for Keppinger with 2 strikeouts. Now they got a pickoff. Carlos Lee is running, and the throw. Safe! Derek Lee got it to Terrio, but Carlos Lee beat the play at second.
Well, Lilly's been pretty easy to run on this year for a left-hander. He's very slow to home plate. Doesn't have a great pickoff move. You see, he was going over there a few times with Carlos. But Carlos goes on first move, and I think Lee got the throw there ahead of Terrio, and just the tag was a little soft. I believe that's what happened. Let's take a peek. The ball's there plenty of time. The tag is a little late.
It was. Greg Gibson on the call.
Throw a little bit to the inside, but it had to be. Lee had to have an angle to make that throw.
He got in. Stolen base for El Caballo. Number 2. A big curveball. There's a swing from Berkman and an 0-2 count. The Astros have 10 steals in 12 tries against the Cubs this year. Now Berkman fighting for contact at 0-2 with 2 outs in the inning. Chris Johnson's on deck. Ball fouled.
Well, he is kind of fighting for contract too. In a manner of speaking.
Yeah. You guys are going to be fighting for contract here in the next couple of months.
Astros have an option on Lance's contract for next year. What is it? 12 million, 14 million, something like that.
It's around 15.
15.
I don't know, somewhere in that area.
If they opt not to exercise that option, there's a buyout.
One and 2. Latest stories on Roy Oswalt indicate that he has not necessarily ruled out any part of the country. And that he would be willing to work with any team. Not be insisting on picking up a contract extension or an option year to approve a deal. Berkman taps it foul, and who knows what's going to happen there. That could break either way.
I sure don't know.
We'll know by Saturday night, JD. Roy pitching Friday night here against Milwaukee. And he'll be going for a tie of that club record, 144 career wins set by Joe Niekro. Strikeout for Lilly, number 6. No runs, a hit, a man left after 4, no score. Game here underway in downtown Houston, Texas. 0-0, Cubs and Astros. Top of the 5th inning, Marlon Byrd leads it off. Byrd grounded to third in the 2nd inning. But Myers sneaks in strike 1. Myers with that 3.24 ERA has really been something, a picture of consistency this year.
Hey.
1-1.
These two pitched so well last week in Chicago. They're at it again this evening. Just the one hit is now walk a man. And boy, it's get the ball and go. Come on. He's on the attack.
He's fun to watch. He's got to be fun to play behind with that fast pace.
Pace and kind of the intensity, too. I mean, he's kind of got that I'm coming after you mentality out there. And I think everybody else kind of buys into that.
Now it's 3-1, and Marlon Byrd has walked 22 times. So we'll look it over carefully. Astros starting pitchers have a 2.97 ERA the last 21 games. Byrd takes a walk. Number 1 for Myers. Myers and Lilly in that hookup last week in Chicago really had it going.
Slipping the fastball by Hunter Pence. Myers with the breaking pitch. Jason Michael delivered a big pinch hit, as did Angel Sanchez. So the Astros have won all 3 series played between these 2 clubs this year. 2 games to 1 each time. So this really becomes the pivotal game in this series because they're going to win tomorrow because it's Wednesday.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They always win on Wednesday. So tomorrow's game is a lock.
11 straight wins on Wednesdays for the Astros. Soriano took ball 1. You sound confident with him.
Come on.
It's Bud Norris and Randy Wells at 105 to give. Jammed on that one. Soriano fouls it.
Hey, make a play down there.
The seats below us.
1-1. These guys, they're going to get a little rough with each other.
Yeah. They're going for it down at club level.
Just right below us here. Throw that guy some Cracker Jacks for a consolation prize.
We'll take care of him. Ryan Terrio's on deck. A big swinging Soriano at the plate. Big bat, big swing. He takes ball 2.
If I'm an Astro starter right now, I don't worry about what team I'm up against or what pitcher I'm hooked up with. I just want to know if I can pitch on Wednesday. That's
all that matters. Day of the week.
And I'll be your Wednesday guy.
There's a shot foul or scrambling for it in those seats.
Wasn't Walter Johnson a Sunday guy at the end of his career? Didn't he just pitch like Sunday home games?
I think so. It was a big crowd. Ownership wanted to maximize his presence. They usually had Mondays off in those days for travel by train to the next city. A lot of Sunday doubleheaders. 2-2. And Soriano's down on strikes. Number 5.
The second time he's punched out Soriano, both times chasing a breaking pitch out of the zone. Never been the patient sort.
No. Ryan Theriot is more the patient sort. He hit a fly ball to center first time up. Double play depth for Sanchez and Keppinger. Theriot lets the ball one. Cleveland 4, Yankees nothing. They've played 6.5 in Cleveland. You see Sabathia on the trailing end of that one right now.
Cleveland have to be loving that. I'd be surprised to see Lou play a little hit and run here. Astros are thinking along the same lines. Theriot guy is pretty good at making contact. And even if he comes up empty, Bird's capable of stealing a bag. He's not a real burner, but he's got 4 steals in 5 tries. Myers-Quintero, tough combo to overrun on.
That's in for a strike and a 1-1 count on Theriot.
We're working over that outside corner pretty good all night long with the fastball and then the slider that starts on the corner and runs off the plate.
Theriot wants the signs again. When Mike Quaddy is not looking at him. Now he gives him one. Probably the 3rd time he's given him. He is fun. Runner going, bouncer, Myers, hang time. No play at second. He gets Theriot 2 outs.
Saturday, Astros and the Brewers play at 6:05. First 10,000 fans will take home a Jeff Bagwell bobblehead courtesy of AT&T after the game Faith and Family Night. And that features a free concert with jars of clay. Tickets are yours at Astros.com. Here's Baggy, circa 97?
Maybe. That's the uniform they wore in 97.
Get yourself a marker, color in the goatee, and you're good to go.
It was a good year.
Clinched that championship against these Cubs in the Dome. Well, not these Cubs. No, those Cubs.
Strike to Coy Hill. Hill rounded back to the pitcher. Mike Hampton. Looks like game. Brad Ausmus hit a grand slam in that one. Strike makes it no balls, 2 strikes. Beginning of a very nice run for the Astros. Going to the playoffs 97, 98, 99, back in 2001. Hill strikes out. That's number 6. No runs, no hits, and the main stranded. Nothing in the 5th. sponsor of youth baseball programs throughout the state of Texas. If you would like to learn more about Chevy's commitment to youth league baseball programs, visit www.ChevyTexasBaseball.com. Brett Myers versus Ted Lillian for the second straight week. They have hooked up in a dandy. Pitchers ruling. Chris Johnson, the batter. Johnson lays off, and it's ball one to Chris, who hit a 2-0 pitch for a looping single to center field to extend his hit streak to 11 games back in the second inning. Quintero and Myers to follow. This liner goes to left field. Another looping hit. Johnson 2 for 2.
Making very good use of the end of the bat tonight. 4 hits to the Astros. 2 pair. A pair of Lee and a pair of Johnsons.
Use all that bat. Terry Poole set the rookie hit streak record with 17 games as a rookie at 77. Sonny Jackson one behind. Julio Lugo, Cesar Cedeno had 14-game streaks. Bagwell had a 13-gamer. Hunter at 12. Gallagher at 12. Johnson goes for 12 tomorrow night. Quintero, the batter, he struck out looking in the second. CJ drawing a throw there. The Astros thinking about the double play possibility here with Quintero batting. Would like to stay out of that, certainly.
It's very ironic because Lily's one of the more extreme fly ball pitchers in all of baseball. He's got the 1 ground ball double play tonight. He came out the bat of Michael Bourne. So the odds of that are really, really small.
True.
That's Bourne's MO. Because of his speed, he's always trying to hit the ball on the ground. So to a certain extent, I guess you could say he won because he hit the ball on the ground. But
yeah. 6 strikeouts to go with 3 in the air, 3 on the ground for Lilly. Fouled away. 1-1 to Quintero.
3 outs on the ground, but just 2 ground balls, both by Bourne, the double play, and then he grounded the second in the bottom of the first.
Washington leads Atlanta 3-0 after 7. Miguel Batista went the first 5, as JD told us. Sean Burnett is gone too. Tommy Hanson, the starter for the Braves, pitching well. He's only given up 1 earned run. Braves have made a couple of errors. Now it's 2-1 for Ted Lilly. Lilly was an all-star back in 04 with the Blue Jays. And then in 06 with Toronto, he was a 15-game winner. First year with the Cubs, he won 15 and lost 8 in 07. Lilly got a little bit of a late start. He was coming back from arthroscopic left shoulder surgery. He was not in the original starting rotation to open the season for the Cubs. His first start came the 24th of April after 2 minor league rehab starts. He's pitched a number of really solid games, coming away with either no decisions or losses. Only 3 wins in 17 starts. His ERA, because of a couple of bad starts, is 3.88. 3-2 to Quintero.
He had 6 consecutive quality starts from May 10th through June 8th, and he was winless through that stretch. It's his second pitcher in franchise history to go winless in 6 consecutive quality starts. Sheriff Blake had a similar streak in 1926.
The Sheriff.
The Sheriff.
Quintero loops a line drive into right center. Johnson reads it and heads for third, and he'll make it without a throw. First and third, nobody out as Q comes through.
A nice piece of hitting there by Q. Again, not really stinging that ball, but good enough to get it done. First and third, nobody out now for Brett Myers. See Johnson with a good read on this one, realizing all the way it's going to drop in. Good hustle, making it all the way to third base. Myers will be up there in bunt situation.
Myers had 2 hits off Lilly in his last start. Drew a walk in the 3rd inning, so really good things have been happening to him when he faces this talented lefty. But the Cubs are still expecting a bunt. Myers in tight at third. No bunt.
And a free swing, though. Let him take a whack at one. Turn him loose, and now they'll probably put the bunt on. Not a bad idea. Myers opening up that front side, cheating on one. Showed you out there when he was on the bases earlier. He was acting like Lou Brock. He's trying to play the whole game. Steal bases. Home run swing.
Would have been 3-0 with that swing.
That pesky little problem of contact.
Oh, yeah. Fouls it back, and it's 0-2.
I think they might put the bunt on there.
Clark signs at third. Chris Johnson is. Quintero's across the diamond at first.
And I think the reason why Brad Mills is having Myers swing here is because Michael Bourne's on deck, and Michael has really struggled against lefties this year.
Michael's 1 for 10 lifetime against Lilly, who throws to first. Toronto 6, Baltimore 2. They're in the top of the 8th at Toronto, where Jose Bautista just delivered number 29 tonight. When's the last time the Major League Baseball home run leader got traded in the midst of a season? That could happen. Myers fouls it back.
The other big slugger on the market, potentially on the market, is Adam Dunn. I heard the Nationals were trying to do a deal with him, but if they didn't get it done, they would likely move him.
Detroit has been interested, according to reports. McGuire, I think, was leading in homers when he was traded. 1 and 2, but Bautista's had a superb year for the Blue Jays, who lead the majors in homers. And they're 2 games over 500. Brad Mills talking about another no-hitter last night. Matt Garza. What a great trade that was. The Rays picked him up. Package deal. Myers pops it up. Terrio underneath. 1 out. Now Michael Bourne. One of the great trades was trade involving the Red Sox and Seattle Mariners. Heathcliff Slocum. That was back in July '97, I believe, coming to Seattle. They needed a closer, and they gave up Jason Varitek and Derek Lowe.
Yeah, that's a heck of a deal by the Red Sox.
Michael Bourne's hit the ball on the ground both times, rounding into a double play, as JD was talking about. In the 3rd inning, Sanchez on deck. Strike for Lilly. The left-handed hitters are hitting .294 against Lilly. Michael's hitting .200 against lefties. Tampa Bay leads Detroit 3-2. They've played 7 in St. Petersburg. Carlos Pena hit his 22nd home run.
A little push bunt to third base would not be a bad play here for Michael Bourne.
0-2.
Unlikely to try with 2 strikes now, because if you push a bunt out towards third base, force Ramirez to come in and handle, you put him in a tough position, because he's going to have to make a real quick read. And Chris Johnson essentially would be able to follow Ramirez down the line as he came in to handle that bunt. If he throws the ball across the diamond to first base, and Johnson could just trot home.
Fouls it away. Michael caught the first pitch from Case Keenum tonight. Mets are clobbering St. Louis 8-1. Bottom of the 7th in New York at Citi Field.
He likes to work up. He goes upstairs for the strikeout quite a bit with his fastball. Looks like a curveball. Probably trying to throw this down in the dirt.
And Bourne strikes out. Number 7. Now Sanchez will try to provide a big 2-out lift.
Coming into this game, Ted Lilly had 81 strikeouts, just 26 walks, so he continues that good work tonight. 7 punch outs. Only walk, surprisingly, to Brett Myers. His high fastballs, he drops Uncle Charlie on him.
He struck out 10 Philadelphia Phillies 2 starts ago in 7 innings. 83 pitches for Lilly. Now it's Sanchez. He's whiffed him twice. Lilly is from Lanita, California. Went to Fresno City College. Strike to Sanchez. Astros 11-12 against left-handed starters this year. Jeff Francoeur, who is trade bait according to some stories, hit his 9th homer tonight for the Mets. Jose Reyes, number 7. And the City Royals are said to be interested in Francoeur. 1-1, but the Mets are examining their situation and looking at the fact that Carlos Beltran has come back. He's been back for several games now and has not hit. And wondering if they can afford to deal Jeff Francoeur.
Francoeur got off a good start. I haven't paid attention lately.
Done a whole lot lately. 2 balls, 1 strike, and that Mets club is coming off a 2-9 road trip. A 2-out hit here could go a long way. The way Brett Myers has been pitching. Two balls, 2 strikes to Sanchez.
That's a great lesson, though. You watching Lilly pitch 89, 90 miles an hour with his fastball. He doesn't have good movement at all. He doesn't sink it. It doesn't have a great run. He's got deception in his delivery. He's got good off-speed pitches, and he just does a real good job of staying out of the hitting zone. Stays down and goes up above the hands.
Ground ball in the hole. Castro to his right. Quick throw to second to Terrio for the force play on Quintero. No runs, 2 hits. First and third, nobody out, but Lilly gets out of it to keep the game scoreless. For the Coors Light Freeze Cam, showing you Myers with the pitch, Ramirez with the fly ball, and Michael Bourne deep in right center makes the catch. The Coors Light Freeze Cam is brought to you by the Frost Foods Coors Light. He was back in the 2nd inning, and Myers was on his way to retiring the first 9 batters in this game. Then a leadoff double by Coleman presented a threat for the Cubs in the 4th inning, but that is the only hit they have through the first 5. Ready to go now in center field with Ted Lilly coming to the plate.
That ball that Michael ran down, Colvin's double, and then a 1-out the line drive by Derek Lee with Colvin on second. Really the only balls hit sharply by the Cubs in this game.
They struck out in the 3rd inning. Big cut there, and there's strike 1. pitchers are really trying the big swings tonight.
It's the old swing hard in case you hit it theory.
Cincinnati leads at Milwaukee 6-3 in the third. He takes the curve for ball one. Edinson Volquez pitching tonight for Cincinnati. Giovanni Gallardo was shelled and left after 2 2/3, giving up 10 hits and 5 earned runs, but he hit a homer, his 4th of the year.
Yeah, I'm really not surprised that he hit a home run. I'm surprised that he got knocked around like that, though.
Well, it's a foul ball.
Adam Wainwright gave it up tonight, too. 6 earned runs in 5 innings. He's on the wrong end of an 8-1 game. The Mets leading the Cardinals.
He's been almost unstoppable at home, but they're not at home tonight. St. Louis with a 1-game lead over Cincinnati. They're 2 ahead in the loss column. Two balls, 2 strikes to Lilly. Myers had 71 pitches. Reds are only 79 pitches and went 77 innings last time out with 79 pitches. Lily's down on strikes. Only curveball, strikeout number 7.
Friday night, that means fireworks here at the ballpark. The Brewers are in town, 7:05 game, and Marathon Oil provides the fireworks show after the ball game. And this week it's a special musical tribute to the Beatles. That'll be fun. Also, Coca-Cola Value Night, 4 Budek 2 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 sodas, 4 Astro caps for only $65. What a great deal that is. All you Beatle fans, come on out to the ballpark. Astros.com for tickets.
Strike to Tyler Colvin on the curve. Colvin lined to double to right field in the 4th for the Cubs' only hit tonight. He had struck out in the 1st inning. Texas 1 open, nothing, bottom of the 5th at Arlington. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Cliff Lee, is he back?
Yes, he is pitching against Gio Gonzalez, who's been on a nice roll for the A's. Rangers got a run in the 1st. Big swing by Coleman. That makes it 1-2.
Cut fastball, moving in on him a little bit.
Texas Rangers have a 7.5 game lead over both Oakland and the Angels right now in the AL West. And Herron got hurt last night in his Angels debut. 2-2, not thought to be serious, just a full-on contusion. Grounded to the right side, and Berkman is there. See to Myers. Got it to him on a quick toss so he could hit the bag with the right foot with the ball in his possession. 2 outs. Play they've worked on about 4 million times.
Yeah, all that dead time they have in spring training, they have to do something. So they have the pitchers cover first base because nobody can think of anything else better to do. And I'm still not convinced that. My hunch is if you never did that in spring training, that the play would get done in the regular season just fine.
That's radical, Jay.
The idea that you have to practice running to first base to handle the flip from the first baseman is a little ludicrous. It's tradition, and really it's conditioning. You know, you're out there. It's part of PFP, pitchers, fielders practice. You field bunts and comebackers and throw to first and cover first. So it's part of just a routine, working out the kinks.
Hey, that was impressive that you snagged a ball off the batting cage today during BP. Casually reached up and barehanded it.
Well, we haven't had any action up here all year.
No. So we have to get down in the field again.
Get down there.
1-1 for Myers, shooting for win number 8 of the year.
The best was when Mossy was the pitching coach. We used to have this drill And you get on the mound, and you're out there for about 5 minutes, and he would just roll one down the third base line. You had to sprint to it, then sprint back to the mound, and then throw another pitch, and he'd roll to first base. And you were the guy for about 5 minutes straight, and you had to run back and forth to the ball, to the mound, to the base. So form really suffered because you were just sucking gas and falling all over yourself. Great condition.
And you had for the bathroom after that. Vomit, right?
Mossy just.
Charlie Kerfeld is in the house again tonight, but he's headed for Tampa tomorrow. Sharp one hopper, Sanchez. And that's a 1-2-3 sixth inning. 6 in a row retired by Myers and a 0-0 game. Night, some different stuff. Talked about that backdoor slider, and then look at you don't see a fastball in these highlights until the very end with Berkman at the plate, JD.
Yeah, a lot of good off-speed pitches by both guys. That big looping curveball from Lilly and from Myers all year long. We've seen the slider, curveball, now he's a little bit of a cutter.
And just one walk, and that was a 4-pitch walk to Myers leading off an inning. Well, he escaped that with a double play ball from Bourne next. Hunter Pence takes the change, and it's 2 balls, no strikes, but Lilly doesn't walk very many. He enters tonight's game averaging 1.9 walks per 9 innings the last 2 years. Second lowest to Cliff Lee among all lefty starters. Those numbers are solid tonight for him. 1 walk, 7 strikeouts.
He's getting about 1,000 feet of fly balls here in the infield in foul territory. He just can't square up that high fastball from Lilly. A little anxious there, went out of the zone, but that's Lilly's game. He gets to chase that high fastball. Does a good job of working his way back into counts without throwing real hittable pitches. Whether it's a high fastball or a little cutter that he'll feather into the strike zone. He clips the inside corner. See Hunter frustrated with himself, probably thinking he's going to get that backdoor curve or maybe a change up there. And Lilly crossed him up with the inside fastball.
3-2. This could be a Larry Dierker and Bob Hendley type pitching duel, but it really takes us back over the years. Both these guys are very sharp.
Bob Hendley?
He's a lefty.
I don't know Bob Hendley. No, Don Hendley.
I don't know what Don's H-E-N-D-L-E. I don't know what Don's ERA is. But Greg Lucas has something for us. Greg?
Bob Hendley was famous. I've just finished reading a book on Sandy Koufax. He pitched a one-hitter in Sandy Koufax's perfect game.
Yeah.
That was one of the great matchups of all time.
How about that, JD? You're crushed. such a one-hitter, and the other guy has a perfect game against him.
Harvey Haddock's deal. Bob Henley, 48 and 52 in his major league career. I just Googled him.
That doesn't measure up to Ted Lilly's numbers, does it? But there were times.
Doesn't measure up to Larry Durker either.
No.
He would own Bob Henley.
Hunter on appeal, punched out. Number 8 for Lilly.
Hunter knew it. He was trying to influence the first base umpire. He checks his swing, or tried to check his swing here, and then starts trotting down the first base line. Worth a shot. Don't make eye contact. Don't look at the teacher. Gotcha.
Yeah. Lilly has produced some check swing attempts that haven't worked out in this game. Carlos Lee's 2 for 2 against him, though. Just pulling one.
Both of his base hits have come on high fastballs. See if Lilly changes up his game plan a little bit here with Carlos. Started him with a curveball. Now looks like they're going off speed away. A bit of a cutter.
1-1. Andrew Cashmer's working in the Cubs bullpen. 2 balls, 1 strike. Andrew's saying he is very, very happy to be back home here in Conroe. And says, I believe it's kind of fun. You might pitch 3 times for your family and friends in a series. But he enjoyed starting as well and would like to, if given a chance, go back to that someday. Doesn't expect it to happen this year. 100 pitches for Lilly. 2-2. Andrew went to junior college, and he was a starter there for 2 years before moving on to TCU, where he worked in relief.
Well, you know, not a bad game plan to take a young pitcher with such a good arm, bring him to the big leagues, and let him just pitch with his stuff, because you can do that for an inning or 2 at a time. Just blow people away with your good stuff, and you kind of learn and fine-tune your other pitches, and then morph into the starting pitcher.
And Corey Hill over. 2 outs. Really is making some of these guys look really bad, but that's what a good pitcher can do. Ball went about 8 feet from home plate. Lilly's just...
Well, you know, what both guys have done tonight, they've established all their pitches very early in the game, and they've had command of all their pitches. So as a hitter, you're up there, and you can't eliminate anything. You can't say, well, he doesn't have a good curveball tonight, so if I see that spin, I'll just spin on it and look for that fastball. You know, sooner or later he's going to have to come into me with the fastball. Both guys, very good command of all their pitches. The more you can make a hitter think about different pitches, the more defensive he becomes.
Myers knows he's up against it. When Keppinger strikes out twice in a game, you know something's up. One to Jeff. Last year, Lilly faced the Astros 4 times. He won all 4.
I mentioned earlier, he's a fly ball pitcher. He's allowed 19 home runs this year. That's kind of what you're pinning your hopes on now, I think, is somebody just runs into one and knocks one out of here.
Yeah. Well, last year at Houston, on April 8th, he gave up 4 homers. Keppinger hit one of those, but he won 11-6. Fouls it. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. 106 pitches for Ted Lilly. Three balls, 2 strikes.
Got him looking first time. Swung over a curveball last time up in the 4th. He may feel like he can beat him with an inside fastball here, but he also fear that he might yank that one into the seats. He's going to stay away.
Walked him with 2 outs. Second walk to Miller tonight. 28 walks this year, though, in 16 innings. Now Lance Berkman, flying to center and struck out, has an opportunity with a runner at first. Pirates lead Colorado 2-0 after 3 at Coors Field.
Rockies scuffling. They've dropped 6 in a row. 8 games off the pace in the West.
Zach Duke on the mound for Pittsburgh. Berkman with ball 1. De La Rosa's pitching for the Rockies. Chris Johnson's on deck. Castro plays Berkman to pull. 2 balls, no strikes. The way the infielders stack up. That's a big opening on the right side. Two-1 to Berkman. Lance has walked 56 times this year. That's tied for 6th in the league. Even though he's hitting .239, his on-base average is .361. Now 3 balls and a strike to Berkman. White Sox are crushing Seattle 11-0 after 7 in Chicago. Larry Rothschild is the pitching coach, former manager of Tampa Bay. Carlos Zambrano will return in the bullpen for the Cubs in a few days, they say.
Yeah, they head to Colorado from here, and I believe Big Z is supposed to meet them there.
That's right. Carlos Marmol closed out the win last night. Berg, Cashner, and Marshall all pitched in relief of Silva, who went 5 for the Cubs. Berkman walks. Now back-to-back 2-out walks bring Johnson to the plate. That's 3 walks tonight for Lilly. Maybe tiring at this point. Lucanella's coming out.
Maybe tiring a little bit, and also working in the bottom of the 6th of a scoreless game where one swing could be the difference. You tend to get a little defensive. Here comes the Luke clock.
That turn back, that bought him a few seconds. That little turn back toward the bench there. He knows how to milk a little time on the clock and give those relievers some extra opportunities to get ready. Is it just a chat? Apparently, nope. That's a job well done for Ted Lilly.
Yeah, with Chris Johnson coming up 2 for 2, I think he's going to go to the right-hander.
Superb job for Ted Lilly tonight. He leads with 2 men on base and a 0-0 game in the 6th. Back in a moment. Chris Johnson hit his 3rd home run in the Cincinnati series. Mike Leake watched him disappear over the left field wall. After hitting 2 in Chicago. So Coors Light Gold Hard Blast. Now Verizon called the bullpen. Brought to you by Verizon Wireless. And it's Conroe native, 23-year-old Andrew Cashner.
Obviously a little bit different look now for the Astros hitters. Instead of Lilly with a variety and slow curve and change up. Cashner is going to come at you with the power game, 95 to 98 miles an hour, that fastball, and a good hard slider to complement it. 23 times he's trotted that combination out there. And he's 1-3 with a 2.42 ERA.
Faced one batter last night, Carlos Lee, coming in with a couple of men on base in the 7th inning in a 5-2 lead. Got him on a force play. Ball 1 from Cashner. Johnson has singled twice in this game. Cashner's pitched successfully 5 times against the Astros without allowing a run this year. 1-1, and he got a win, his first major league win in Chicago last week. Go tonight. A couple of hitless innings. He came in with the Cubs trailing 7-6 in the 6th inning, and they won it 14-7.
Slider to get things started here.
.345 against righties for Chris Johnson. Cashner came up from Iowa May 31st.
The splits indicate that Lou Piniella made a mistake. Going to the right-hander here with the way Johnson's hit righties. Lou would say, hey, he was already 2 for 2 off Willie. Let's give him something else to look at.
Cashner said, you see that white Nike swoosh? He was having some fun by the Cubs dugout before the game. He said, well, when I came into the game last night, Brad Mills said something to the umpire about having some white on my glove, so they looked at my glove. So he had a tiny giveaway black glove that he had gotten, and he was going to take that over to Brad and see if that was all right tonight. Good sense of humor. Strikeout number 9 for Cubs pitching ends the Astros 6 with 2 men left, and it's 0-0. It up. Let's go.
Yeah, give me a little maple walnut.
Tasty. 0-0. Why not eat some ice cream? Here's the 7th inning with Brett Myers on the mound and Derek Lee in the box. He is 0 for 2. There's strike 1. Josh Tomlin from Tyler, Texas, the right-hander for the Cleveland Indians, came up with a gem against the Yankees tonight. He went to Angelina Community College, just like Andrew Kashner. The Indians shut out the Yankees tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brett Myers has thrown 84 pitches. Ted Lilly went 5 2/3 innings. They allowed 5 hits, no runs, walking 3, fanning 8. Lee fouls the ball, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ramirez and Bird to follow. 113 pitches for Lilly in his 5 2/3. Once again, Ted leaves the game. His club not having scored a run while he was in. And his record stays at 3-8. Lee strikes out number 8.
In a year that has been dominated by pitching, we've seen a lot of outstanding pitching here tonight. 8 punch-outs for Brett Myers. Second time he's got Derek Lee, the strikeout rate in Major League Baseball, the highest it has been since they lowered the mound in 1969.
Now Ramirez is 0 for 2. That Cleveland win was not a shutout. It was 4-1. Cleveland beat the Yankees as Tomlin had his first Major League win, beating CC Sabathia, former Indian, now goes to 13-4. Rocked on a line, Carlos Lee there. A hard hit out, number 2 for Ramirez. He stung that ball.
Yeah, that's a rally in this game. That ball left the bat. There was about a 2-second rally, and then it died in Carlos's glove out there in left field.
That's about the way this game has gone. 2 down, and it's Marlon Byrd who grounded out and walked.
Hey, we forgot to wish Bob Ford happy birthday last night.
Yeah, we did.
PA announcer here at Minute Maid Park. Bob Ford celebrating a birthday yesterday. So
53.
Happy belated, Bob.
Bob made a trip to Japan this year. He's had a big year. Tap to the left side. Johnson cuts over in front of Sanchez. A bobble and not in time. Bird beats it out.
Bobble was the difference maker. He would have had him had he been able to get that ball out of his glove cleanly. Hopefully that doesn't turn into much. Soriano coming out. Has punched out twice already tonight in his 2 trips. Take a look at it here. Johnson cuts in front of Sanchez to glove it, and then can't corral it. Bird hustling down the line.
A hit for Bird. Hit number 2 for the Cubs. Now it's Soriano. He's whipped both times. Strike to Soriano.
Well, with this lack of base runners, Chu has not really been able to pick anybody off or try to. So I would think he's probably a little itchy here.
This might be a good time to break out the big arm.
He's going to take a shot at Marlon Byrd.
All the way, and it's 0-2. Tampa Bay beat Detroit again, 3-2. James Shields going to 9 in time. There's the Bob Ford birthday, 1957. Sandra Bullock, Kevin Spacey. And there were some big names.
Mick Jagger and August Biernaerts, former Belgian premier.
Really? Little tap out in front of the plate. Quintero throws Soriano. No runs, a hit, and a man left. Middle of the 7th inning. It's 0-0. fans have had their 7th inning stretch. Singing of Beat from Heart of Texas brings us up to the bottom of the 7th. Humberto Quintero to be followed by the pitcher's spot. Bullpen is busy for the Astros, and a lot happening here as Quintero steps up 1 for 2. And bunts, foul. Cashner's first pitch. Brandon Lyon is in the bullpen warming up. Pedro Feliz is in the on-deck circle. Cashner in this 0-0 game. He put out the fire after back-to-back walks in the 6th inning, striking out Johnson. Popped up, put back over the screen, and out of play.
And through CJ, nothing but sliders, 3 sliders at about 85, and then the 97-mile-an-hour heater about neck high.
Josh Tomlin of the Indians went 7 innings, giving the Yankees 1 run.
At this stage of the ball game, now you're in 1-run mode. Get a man on, get him over, get him in. Certainly could understand if Brad Mills opted to leave Brett Myers in this game. If you don't give up any runs, you can't lose. Boy, and he's been so good.
Whoa! Waiting on the pitch. Pitch just kept bearing in on him and got him 97 miles per hour.
Well, here we go. Jason Bourgeois going to come out of the dugout to run for Q.
Second time Q's been hit by a pitch. Cashner has a base runner and a speedy one in Bourgeois. He's a risk taker on the bases sometimes.
Brett Myers will stay in the game. Pedro Feliz called back. Myers in there to try being the operative word to get a bunt down here off Cashner. A guy who throws this hard, that's no easy task.
Bourgeois has a decent lead at first. Has 6 steals and 7 tries and tracks a throw. Myers walked in the 3rd on 4 pitches from Lilly, and then he popped up with 2 men on in the 5th. Runners at 1st and 3rd. He has 6 sacrifice bunts. Michael Bourne on deck. Ramirez in tight at 3rd. Myers takes ball 1. He's the second hit batter for Cashner in 27 innings this year. Runner goes, and the throw, not in time.
I like it. I like the play. Tough guy to bunt. Big right-hander, not particularly quick to home plate with his delivery. You got speed on the bases. Go ahead and take that bag. Well, Dave Clark in to have a chat with Myers, and maybe something along the lines of, look, whatever you feel like you need to do to get him over to 3rd base. If you feel more comfortable trying to get a bunt down, do that. If you don't feel comfortable bunting, you want to just choke up and try to punch the ball to the right side, try that. Showing bunt.
Taking a strike.
That would be one thing you tell him not to do. If you're going to bunt, go ahead and bunt at it. But boy, this is tough. It's 97 miles an hour. It's on you in a hurry.
7 stolen base for Bourgeois and 8 tries. That could be very big in this game. 2 and 2.
And normally you don't think about stealing 3rd base with nobody out. You got a left-handed hitter, Michael Bourne, coming up next. And it's tough to steal 3rd base with a lefty in the batter's box. Not the percentage play here, but the Cubs are keeping a close eye on him out there. Castro keeping him tight.
Now full count to Myers. Appeal went down to Vic Carapazza at first.
Check the bat at the top of the strike zone. Make sure you get a strike. Just be real quiet with your hands trying to drop this bunt down.
He gets it down. Bourgeois to 3rd. Lee throwing to Terrio. And the sacrifice, the 7th of the year for Myers. Gets a runner to third with one out.
He may have just won himself a ball game right there by getting that bunt down, getting Bourgeois over to third base with one out. A huge play.
The Astros in the fifth inning had first and third, nobody out. Good job by Myers. Now the infield comes in for Michael Bourne. Serio is staying back about halfway for now. Okay, intentional walk. And Sanchez will bat with runners at first and third and one out. The Astros are 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position tonight.
Interesting play here by the Cubs. Walk Bourne. First and third situation. Move the infielders to double play depth in the middle and hope to get a double play ball with Sanchez. If not, they're going to have to get Sanchez and then Pence to finish off the inning.
Lou Piniella hoping for something that has not happened this year. Sanchez has not grounded into a double play. It is 0 for 2, 0 for 3, but 2 strikeouts. Hit the ball on the ground in the fifth inning. And he is coming back for a pinch hitter. Meanwhile, we go to Patty Smith.
Well, here's a chance to give a child an opportunity of a lifetime. Register today for the Astros Take a Player to School program presented by Whataburger. Your first through 8th grader could be eligible to win a visit from Lance Berkman after school, along with 4 sweet tickets and the opportunity to throw out the first pitch prior to an Astros game. Go to Astros.com/Whataburger for the official rules or to register. Registration ends August 15th, and that is always a fun event for the kids, guys.
Thanks, Patty. Now, Sanchez will not leave the game. He was coming back for instructions. And now the meeting at the mound. Larry Rothschild breaks up. He heads for the dugout. So it's Sanchez. It's runners at first and third. And it's Hunter Pence on deck. One out.
Really interesting what the Cubs have done here to walk Michael Bourne. To play for a double play. Bourne might just steal second base on you and upset that whole plan.
Certainly could. That would be a thought here. Coy Hill has thrown out only 3 of 25 base runners this year.
I think not only would be a thought, I think that's got to be the play.
Yeah. He pushes a bunt and a squeeze, and the run scores. Sanchez got the butt down, scoring Bourgeois from third, and it's 1-0 Astros.
Now, this is the beauty of a well-pitched game. You get into a tight game in the late innings. There's so much on the line, and there's so much importance on every play. Great bump by Myers, and now the squeeze executed by Sanchez. A little bit of a late break by Bourgeois there, but able to come in the back door. Good athletic play by Cashner, flipping the ball with the glove to the catcher Hill. And Jason coming in behind, gets that back corner with the hand, and the Astros have the lead.
Brad Mills pushing all the right buttons in this inning. Going to second now, it's Hunter Pence. Sanchez gets his 5th run batted in of the year to make it 1-0.
Yeah. Fitting that the run would be scored in this fashion in this game. Hit by pitch, sacrifice, intentional walk, squeeze bunt.
Bourgeois scored it. He made some things happen with his speed. 1-0 to Pence with Lee on deck. Bourne started to break. Now ground ball hit to the right side. Bourne's being sent home. Throw by Colvin to third, and the run scores and the out at third. It's 2-0 on the RBI single by Pence, who continues on to second base. Sanchez gunned down by Colvin, 9-5.
Hunter Pence just muscles this ball through the hole on the right side. Colvin had no intention of coming home with this throw. It comes up throwing to third base. The run scores. Bourgeois out, or excuse me, Sanchez out at third base easily. It's a good play by a young player, because I think a lot of guys would have been anxious there and taking a shot at home. And with Bourne running, it would have been an ill-advised shot at home.
RBI number 50 for Hunter Pence, the Astros club leader. Carlos Lee's 2 for 3. looks at ball one. Paid attendance is 28,047. They have seen some speed at work in this inning.
Woody Herzog in the Shrine in Cooperstown on Sunday. A little whitey ball here.
Yeah. It started with a hit batsman on an 0-2 count. Quintero hit by the pitch. Bourgeois went into pinch run. Stole second. Myers stayed in. And then put down a sac bunt to get him to third. Decision making for Brad Mills has worked all the way down the line. And, the intentional walk to Bourne by Lou Piniella, very interesting. And then the squeeze bunt. Followed by Pence RBI single. Now Brett Myers leads 2-0. Good heater on 3-0 at 97. Astros have won all the close games in this series with the Cubs this year. Only 1- and 2-run decisions, that is. Lee hoaxes a walk. Second walk for Cashner. Now Larry Rothschild is on the phone with the bullpen. Jeff Keppinger, the batter. 2 strikeouts and a walk from Keppinger. Lance Berkman's on deck. Keppinger's hit by the pitch. Second hit batsman in the inning. Loads the bases.
Cashner struggling with his command here in this inning, among all the other things that have gone wrong. Just a 1-base hit for the Astros so far in the inning. A base hit to right field by Hunter Pence. A whole lot of traffic.
Brooklyn comes up as a left-handed batter for the first time tonight. He's over 2 with a walk against Lilly. Chance to really get Myers some working room for the 8th inning with 4 grand slams and a .308 career average and 2 for 4 with the bases loaded this year. And Blaze is in for ball one. The 8th man to bat in the inning. Berkman with Johnson on deck.
Teams have been attacking Lance with the fastball. Good hard fastballs in.
2-0. Cashner said, boy, I was in the seats for many games as a fan in this ballpark. Berkman with a high drive toward the Astros bullpen. That is a Lance Berkman grand slam.
You won't see a big smile on Lance's face, but I guarantee the hitting coach has got one right now because they've been working awfully hard. And what a nice swing of the bat for the Puma. I mentioned that they've been pounding him with fastballs, and they've been successful with it, but he turns this one around.
6-0 Astros. Chris Johnson with strike one. 13th home run for Berkman this year, giving him 49 runs batted in. Carlos Lee hit the Astros earlier grand slam this season. And the Astros are batting around. That was a 442-footer. Now a liner to second caught, and the Astros send 9 to the plate in a 6-run 7th and grab a 6-0 lead. Our Energy Insights brought to you by Centerpoint Energy. The Astros with a 6-run seventh, the highest scoring inning of the year. Myers went 6 innings for the 21st straight start. He's in after 7 now. Berkman just hit his 5th career grand slam during the regular season. We have changes for the Astros as the 8th inning begins. And there's strike 1 for Myers to Ryan Theriot. Anderson Hernandez takes over at second base for Jeff Keppinger. And Jason Bourgeois in left field for Carlos Lee. No balls, 2 strikes to Theriot, who's 0 for 2. Troy Hill on deck. Then the pitcher spot is due up for Chicago.
Jason Castro moves in behind home plate. Brett Myers continues to work on a shutout.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Castro is batting 5th in the order. We'll check that. Scoreboard has him 4th. I believe the announcement was 5th. Hernandez at second base for Keppinger. Hernandez is batting 4th and Castro 5th. Fly ball. Moving out to Michael Bourne. 1 out for Myers, who has 1 complete game this season. 94 pitches tonight for Brett Myers. That was a most interesting 7th inning rally. 6-run inning.
Yeah, it's funny. You're doing so much just to score a run, and you end up putting 6 on the board.
Troy Hill's 0 for 2. Strike 1. So Myers just hanging in until he got the run support, and then he was a big part of it. He was allowed to stay in. Well, maybe some managers would have pinch hit for the pitcher there after the number 8 hitter, Quintero, led off the 7th inning, being hit by a pitch. And he contributed to the inning.
Now, I think he was going to hit for him had he not reached. But once Quintero got on base and the sacrifice opportunity was there, Myers stayed in the game.
Ball, strike 3. Hill caught looking. 9 strikeouts.
Now, this is a ball that you almost never see called a strike, but I got a pretty good feeling our good buddy pitch tracker would indicate that it was a strike.
Okay.
See that curveball caught low like that. A lot of times you don't get the call, but I think that's a pretty good call.
Kosuke Fukudome is the pinch hitter. Bobby Howry in the bullpen. Ball 1 from Myers to Fukudome. Fukudome looks at that one. He has 2 homers in his last 6 starts, hitting only 189 in June. That sent him to the bench for a lot of games this year. As a pinch hitter, he's done well, 5 for 15. Two balls and a strike. Astros have 7 hits now to the Cubs 2. No errors in the game. Smash and glove by Hernandez. In the 8th inning, it goes quickly for Myers, and he maintains his 6-0 lead over Chicago.
Programs throughout the state of Texas. If you'd like to learn more about Chevy's commitment to youth baseball, visit ChevyTexasBaseball.com. Bill?
Thanks, Patty. Quite a seventh-inning explosion for the Astros. Their biggest inning of the season, 6 runs. And now they come up in the bottom of the 8th inning against Bobby Howry. Howry will be pitcher number 3. Andrew Kashner in 1 1/3 innings, allowed 2 hits, 6 runs, walking 2, hitting 2 batters, and fanning 1. Brad Mills out to talk with the home plate umpire before Howry throws a pitch. It'll be Jason Bourgeois, who pinch ran for Humberto Quintero, leading it off in the Astros 8th.
The youngster Kashner gives way to the veteran Bobby Howry, who's been around the big league scene for a good long while now. Not having the best of years. 1-3, 7.29 ERA for Howry, who's lost some zip off that fastball. See the numbers there, just 13 strikeouts in 33 innings.
Bourgeois hits a foul ball. Derek Lee over. Strike 1 to Jason. He has certainly put his speed to some interesting use this year. 211 batting average, 1 RBI, but he has made some things happen. We just saw it again in the last inning. Luke out to left center field. That is a gapper. Extra bases for Bourgeois. A double here in the 8th inning. That's his second double.
They're playing it a little bit the other way. Bird shaded towards right center, so we got a long way to go. This ball hung in the air a good long while, but we're just not able to close the gap. And lead off double for Jason Bourgeois. Ed Norris probably down there in that dugout saying, "That's good, boys. Myers has got this. Now save some for tomorrow."
Myers has helped himself. Ground ball to shortstop here. But earlier he walked and put down that sacrifice bunt. 1 out. Michael Bourne will be next. He's over 3 with a walk. That intentional walk burned the Cubs. Then the Astros called on Sanchez to squeeze. He got it down with Bourgeois scoring and Bourne going to second. Strike to Bourne. Oakland and Texas are tied 1-1 after 8 at Texas. Cliff Lee still in the game for the Rangers. They just have not scored for Cliff Lee. Strike makes it 0-2 to Bourne.
Kind of like when the Astros got Randy Johnson in '98 with that high-powered offense that the Astros had that year, but they didn't score many for the big unit.
True. One and 2. Minnesota leads Kansas City 6-2. They've played 6 in Kansas City. Cincinnati 7. Milwaukee 4. Bottom of the 5th in Milwaukee. Fouls it.
Cliff Lee is amazing. He struck out 12 tonight. Walked nobody.
He can waltz right in, pitch effectively in the heat in Arlington, as he's done.
Struck out 125 men and walked 7 this year.
That's just crazy. One fouls it away. Boston and the Angels 0-0 after 1. Weaver on the mound for the Angels. Ball made it up there. Pittsburgh 3, Colorado 2, bottom of the 7th at Coors Field. Farmas and Hoff have gone deep for the Rockies. Bourne fouled it, reaching for that one. Dodgers and San Diego are 0-0. They're in the last of the second inning with Chad Billingsley on the mound for Los Angeles. Florida 0, San Francisco 0. They've played one. Matt Cain is pitching for the Giants. See how Chris Coughlin got hurt for the Marlins?
I did not.
He tore cartilage in his knee going out to put a pie in the face of a teammate who hit a game-winning hit. Yep. Not missed 6 weeks, they're saying. Bourne's down on strikes. 2 down, and it's Angel Sanchez. The White Sox will be retiring Frank Thomas's jersey. Gil Mesh down for the year. Chris Coughlin right there. He's going on the DL. And there were a lot of trade rumors about Cody Ross. Now the Marlins probably can't afford to trade Ross with Coughlin down.
Morales got hurt jumping into home plate, and he hit a game-winning home run. Club's going to have to implement a no celebration rule.
1 ball and 1 strike to Sanchez. Toronto down Baltimore 8-2. Ricky Romero beating Kevin Millwood, who's now 2-10. Jose Bautista hit 2 tonight, giving him 30. Jeff Keppinger left with back tightness. 2-1.
Now he got a baseball embedded in his back.
Yeah, I like a little tight in the back. Day game coming tomorrow. Skipper might give him that day off as well. Might have time to loosen up. Out into right center field, Marlon Byrd has it. In the 8th inning, it's no runs a hit and a man stranded for the Astros. Brett Myers gets set for the ninth. 6-0 Houston. Houston. Brett Myers, shooting for win number 8 of the year, now has a 6-0 lead moving to the 9th inning. He's thrown 102 pitches and allowing just 2 hits so far. He could tie his career low hit game. But Tyler Colvin has other ideas with a deep drive to right. And there goes the shutout. Home run number 16 for the National League's leading rookie home run hitter. Giving him 37 runs batted in, and the Cubs are on the board trailing 6-1.
Brad Mills giving Brett Myers a chance to finish this game to get the shutout. He tried to throw that fastball down and away. His command has been so good tonight, but that one out over the heart of the plate. Colvin able to take advantage of it.
Now Starlin Castro fouls it. It's Colvin's third home run against the Astros this season. Castro's 0 for 3 tonight. Derek Lee on deck. Reaches for it, and it's 0-2. Nine career complete games for Myers. He did it at San Francisco this year, May 16th. That was a loss to Barry Zito, an 8-inning complete game. Chris Johnson fires, not in time. Infield hit for Castro. 7-game hitting streak for Castro. And Derek Lee follows. His 9-game streak is on the line. He's 0 for 3 tonight.
Castro can really fly. He's got a lot of things going for him. He's got pop in that bat, good speed. He's 20 years of age.
All the way, there's strike one with Matt Lindstrom warming up for the Astros. Bud Norris is set for a 105 first pitch tomorrow against Randy Wells. Looks like that's going to be the deciding game of this series.
It's over. It's guaranteed win day.
11 straight wins on Wednesday for the Astros.
And that's what's so peculiar about that? Well, this is a club that's won 40 ball games this year.
That's right.
It's just absurd.
You need to check the records on other days of the week.
Not good.
No. Every other day of the week has to be a losing day, doesn't it? Let's see.
Every other day. Well, another 7-6 on Thursday, Brownie.
Yeah. 3-13 on Saturday.
Yeah.
They weren't talking about this stuff in the 1950s, were they?
No, I don't think they put those in the media notes.
If there were any. Oh, that one came up and got him in the face, it appeared. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Okay.
Well, obviously, Astros feeling pretty good about things with his 5-run lead here, but I don't know how quickly things can turn around. The Astros just showed you that, scoring 6 in the 7th, and the Cubs are a more explosive team than the Astros. That's why Lindstrom's getting ready. If D. Lee were to pop one here, and all of a sudden it would be a save opportunity, and Lindstrom would likely be in the game.
Phillies beat Arizona 9-5. Herndon the winner. Now 3-2. Ryan Howard hit his 23rd tonight for the Phils.
Throw that slider over the inside corner, just a little bit off the plate.
And foul back. Phillies are 2.5 back in the wild card race right now. 4.5 behind Atlanta coming into play tonight. Braves lost 3-0 in Washington. Fouled off Castro, still 3-2. Miguel Batista, the fill-in for Steven Strasburg, won his first, beating Tommy Hanson. Matt Capps got his 25th save. 115 pitches for Myers. He threw 122 when he beat Tampa Bay here back on the 21st of May. And he got him on strikes. 10th strikeout for Myers.
The third time he's got Derek Lee. D. Lee 0 for 4 tonight. He came into this game batting .500 in his career off Brett Myers. And I'm not talking 2 for 4. I'm talking 17 for 34. If you're traveling this season, take the Astros with you. Subscribe to MLB.tv to see every Astros game live or on demand. You can find it at Astros.com.
Strike to Aramis Ramirez. He's 0 for 3. Hit the ball hard to left field in the 7th inning. The Mets beat the Cardinals 8-2. Jonathan Neese the winner, beating Adam Wainwright. No balls, 2 strikes. Interesting to see what the configuration of the St. Louis and Cincinnati rosters are come Sunday. Cincinnati winning 10-4 at Milwaukee. They're in the 6th inning for some reason. Big cut by Ramirez. And he goes down for strikeout number 11.
That's a season high for Brett Myers. One off his career high. 12 is the magic number. He's done it twice, last time against the Cubs back in 06.
Fans are standing. They have enjoyed the show. Marlon Byrd has an infield hit and a walk tonight.
And he lost his shutout, but a complete game's a nice consolation prize.
Roll foul for strike 1. Soriano on deck. A win tonight gives the Astros a 7-4 record against the Cubs this season. The Cubs are 3-9 against Pittsburgh. Brad Mills' club 23-20 within the Central Division. 0-2 and no attempt to stop Castro from going from first to second base. Fielders indifference.
So prior to the pitch, Brad Mills motioning with his hand to push Berkman back. Go ahead and play back. Let him take second if he wants it. And defend more of the field.
An entertaining night for these fans.
Yeah, he wants that strikeout. You talk about a pitcher relying on his legs late in the game when he may be tiring a little bit. He came flying off that rubber.
Myers trying to put the final blow on win number 8 to tie Wandy Rodriguez for the staff lead. And it's fouled away.
It's fun being out there at the end. Starting pitchers don't get that chance very often anymore. Be out there shaking hands after 27 outs is a big thrill.
2 complete games on the Astros staff this year. Roy Oswalt with 1. Myers in that complete game lost the other. Strikeout to equal his career high with 12. Striking out the side in the 9th after the homer by Colvin and the single by Castro. Brilliant night for Brett Myers. The win takes him to 8-6, and these fans really enjoyed the show. 0-0 until the 7th, JD.
Outstanding pitchers duel tonight. And Myers is dominant yet again. Ted Lilly very good for the Cubs. The Astros put one good inning together. That's all they needed. Actually, more than they needed. Way more than they needed with Myers tonight. Boy, he was brilliant.
Final score: Houston 6, Chicago 1.